In today's breaking news, Capital One announces that they plan to purchase Discover Bank. Is this good? Is it bad? How will it affect Capital One credit card holders? How will it affect Discover credit card holders? Is this going to even make a difference? There's so much going on here. Let's talk about it.
Two of the biggest credit card companies, Capital One and Discover Financial, have agreed to merge in a $35 billion deal. If it goes through, it could have big implications for consumers.
I'm not gonna lie, I was 100% shocked when this came across my phone when Wall Street Journal broke the story. And of course, I get that for 100% free because of my Platinum American Express credit card, but that's a whole other story. But it's crazy to me that this is even going to have a possibility of happening. Now listen to what I just said, having a possibility of happening. I'm already seeing crazy stories of people making the assumption saying Capital One just purchased Discover Bank. That has not happened. Let's not jump the gun. It is still in the works because this is possibly one of the largest credit card bank mergers in American history in recent time. Of course, recent time. This can be a huge game changer for the economy, for the credit card world, and for credit card processing. And in my personal opinion, for the travel world, because Capital One has been on a mission to topple the rest of the best travel credit cards out there. And if they can combine their powers with Discover Bank, there's a huge possibility that it could happen. They could be better than the American Express Platinum card or the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So Capital One has agreed to buy Discover Financial Services for more than $35 billion. So it's going to marry the two largest credit card companies in the United States. But the reason why this is a big deal, because now Capital One will not be reliant on Visa and MasterCard any further if this deal goes through. Now it has to go through all types of regulations and it has to be approved. This isn't just some simple wham bam thank you ma'am. It's not going to happen overnight. It is set to probably go into effect by early of 2025 or late 2024 most likely. Every time you swipe a Capital One credit card with a Visa or MasterCard logo on it, it goes through Visa and MasterCard, and Capital One has to pay them a fee, just like Citibank and Chase Bank. They all have to do this. It's a part of the game. But if they can make this merger happen, they will go into Discover's closed loop payment system and they will get rid of MasterCard and Visa and they won't have to pay them a dime. It's a huge deal for Capital One and can save them millions and help them create more profit. Now, the crazy part about this would make it one of the largest closed loop networks in the United States and possibly the world, because everybody's not talking about the fact that American Express is the other company that does have closed loop network. And this is why people complain, or sometimes some businesses do not accept American Express because the fees are too high, because guess what? American Express has taken those all in 100% profit because it is their closed loop network. And if Capital One and Discover merges, creating the largest closed loop network, they can expand it and be accepted in many other places that they were never accepted before. Now, another big part of this story that nobody is talking about is the fact that Capital One is one of the largest subprime lenders in the United States. And if they merge with Discover Bank, would it make it easier to attain a Discover It credit card? Because a lot of people complain that it's not so easy to get a Discover credit card. And in fact, it's true, it really isn't. But if they actually merge with Capital One, would it make it easier to attain an actual Discover It credit card? And Capital One is one of the biggest companies that does actually forgive and forget. So if you defaulted on a Capital One credit card, they may let you come back and open up a new account and rebuild with them again later on down the line. Discover, not so much. So what will happen if possibly you defaulted with Discover previously and now they're with actually Capital One? Will you be able to get another Discover credit card? The possibility is there. If this deal does get approved, this will in fact make Capital One one of the largest credit card issuers in the United States, right at the time when credit card signups are booming because people are using their credit cards more, and of course credit card debt is at an all-time high, and people are using credit cards more now because of social media. People like me that were talking about how to travel, how to use cashback rewards credit cards. All of those things are making people realize that they should be using credit cards instead of cash. You tell me in the comments, do you think this is a great move for Discover and Capital One, or should they each just stay in their own separate lane? So I hope you enjoyed this video about this massive Capital One and Discover breaking news about this huge merger. We will continue to cover this story as it evolves, and if it gets approved, you will hear about it first. Now make sure that you watch the next video because it is about another credit card company. If you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.